The Intermarque silhouettes return to action at Silverstone on the national circuit on the 21st of August. They had a great turnout, most of the main protagonists were present, alongside a new driver, Eric Bolton, in his ex-Marque Vauxhall Tigre. Former champion Malcolm Blackman claimed pole position, just edging out Ray Harris by a quarter of a second. Dave York continued his impressive form to finish third position with Ian Hales alongside him in their Vauxhall Tigres. Daniel Smith would line up in 5th position in his blue Mercedes, and an impressive Bolton was 6th on debut. Mike Thurley was the leading senior class driver in 7th, just ahead of Richard Smith in his Mercedes SLK. Pat Keeley qualified 9th, with Phil Spinks in 10th position, and a great grid of 18 cars would line up for the first race of the day just after lunch. The first race was held on a drying track, and a brilliant advert for this amazing series. From the off, Blackman set a blistering pace to hold off Harris, with Daniel Smith, York and Bolton just in tow. Let's rewatch the highlights of the first few laps with the live commentary team.
Lights go out and we're racing, and it is just about Malcolm Blackman in the red Tigre who has the advantage. Yes, he has, going through Copse Corner for the first time. So it is Malcolm Blackman leading in the Tigre, number 91.
Is indeed. He's got a big old train behind him, though, side by side for 3rd and 4th place. That's cars 6 and 196. The 6 machine trying to hang it out around the outside. That's Ian Hales. Doesn't manage to do it, though. The 196 goes through, and here comes the blue SLK. Car 33, driven by Daniel Smith. He's on his right-hand side. All looks nice and tidy down here, although the number 59 SLK at the back of the field, which is Nigel Beardsmore, he's having a bit of trouble staying with them. Maybe a puncture on the right rear. It's on a bit of a drunken angle, as you called it earlier.
Well, yes, and somebody else picked that phrase up. Yes, it's a well-known old phrase. So they're all safely through Brooklands, now going through Luffield, and the 2 leaders already getting away. It is Blackman from Harris as they come through for the first time. Side by side then for the second time. The Tigre just on the outside line. The Ginetta takes the tighter line coming through Woodcut, gives him the advantage perhaps for Copse Corner. No, tucks in behind the Tigre. So it is Malcolm Blackman still leading from Ray Harris as they come out of Copse Corner and back up towards you, Chaz, for the 3rd time.
Yep, side by side, by the look of it, as they come towards me, just about getting rid of the overlap there was the number 91, Blackman just holding on. They need to be careful, though, because the 33 and the 196 are tucked right up behind them now. It's a great fight for the front. 5th place, number 68, ahead of car 29, being driven by Mike Thurley. Leads his class as well, ahead of Ayling in the car 28.
Which is also in the other class, yes.
It is indeed, yeah. Good scrap potentially between those two. They're in the middle of quite a long train as well, so they could actually get caught up in other people's moments, let's say.
I think the 2 leaders are being caught by the next pair, D. Smith and York. Daniel Smith and Dave York are closing up slightly on the leader. In fact, what was a breakaway pair are no longer breaking away. A challenge being made again by Ray Harris as they go towards Copse Corner to try and take the lead. No, still the red Tigre is in front, but they're definitely being caught. Smith and York, and possibly the train behind are also staying in touch.
Yeah, it's great battling so far. Smith having a look on the left, but down the inside for the race lead goes number 5. Ray Harris gets the job done on the brakes, and Blackman's now under pressure from the 33, who's managed to get his nose alongside, gets rid of the overlap on the exit of Beckett's, though, and now it's 3 line astern, but everybody else is in 4th place.
Yes, that's what it looks like. So down they come, down the Wellington Straight into Brooklands. And will it be green? Yes, it is, but only just by about half a length, and it's 3 for the lead, as you said, 3 abreast also trying to get into Luffield, and there's 3 more cars tagging onto them, so you've got 4 for the lead, plus 3 trying to stay with them, and doing so successfully. So through comes the leader, the new leader, Ray Harris, as far as we're concerned down here. Ray Harris leads from in 2nd place, Daniels, Blackman, then to Smith, then York, Bolton, Thurley complete the top 6. With Chris Ayling hanging on as well in 7th place, number 28.
Well, it's once again another frantic and enjoyable race. The battle for 2nd place now still on. Blackman is now back in front, and Harris is now down to 3rd.
These 5 made a terrific sight as they battled it out, often side by side. Gradually, Bolton slipped off the back of the bunch, but nevertheless, an excellent showing by the new driver who's got this experience from TinTops and in Ginettas. Meanwhile, Harris snatched the lead briefly on lap number 4, only for Blackman to retake it 1 lap later. Daniel Smith then slipstreamed past Harris and into second position, but again Harris would retake that position just 1 lap later. For 2 laps, these drivers went side by side around the whole circuit with barely a millimetre between them.
Sliding wide there as they go through Brooklands, trying to retrieve his second place. He's almost got it. He's in on the inside line of Daniel Smith, I should say, as they come out of Luffield. But just about hanging on, Ray Harris on the inside line. But this is allowing Malcolm Blackman to make a break. And as you'll see, for the first time, there's a load of daylight between him and anybody else. 1.19 seconds in terms of time. Blackman, Harris, D. Smith, York, Bolton, Ayling and Thurley are the top 7.
Yeah, Blackman is getting some real daylight, like you say. He is starting to stretch his legs at the front. Second place, though, down the inside now. Ray Harris tries to get the move done on Daniel Smith. He's still side by side on the exit. That Ginetta just can't get its nose in front at the moment, in front of the Mercedes, but right behind them, right there, is Dave York ready to make a move in his grey Tigra.
Yeah, so for a newcomer, he's doing pretty well here. The leader at Brooklands, I think he's made the break that he needs. I see that Malcolm Blackman's going to go on and win this one now. I don't think the others will be able to work their way back onto turns with him. And the others side by side again as they come out of Luffield and into Woodcote. Brilliant battle this. Ray Harris in the middle of it, and on the outside of him as they come through is number 33, the car of Daniel Smith, the Mercedes SLK. And then right behind them is York, then Bolton, Ayling, and up to 7th place now is number 156, the car of Pat Keeley, Tigra.
Blackman will love watching this one back because he's not going to have any idea what's going on behind him. They're still side by side in second place. Fantastic racing from Ray Harris and Daniel Smith. Still side by side through Beckett. Still side by side on the exit. Looks like Harris is just getting that run. I don't think he is actually. I think Smith's actually just changed up a gear early and he just actually held him back a bit. I don't quite know how he's done that, but they're still side by side. It's unbelievable racing.
I think they've just about done the whole lap side by side, haven't they?
Yeah.
They're at it again as they go through Brooklands. But all the while, of course, they're dropping further and further back from Malcolm Blackman, who now leads by the length of Luffield. Before he comes out of Luffield as the next 3 are going into Luffield. That's the length of his lead. It was 2.6 seconds at the start of the lap. What's it going to be at the end of it? There, Malcolm Blackman goes through, 7 laps completed. In second place at the moment is Ray Harris, and he's 3.5 seconds adrift. Then is Daniel Smith. Up into 4th place is Dave York.
So eventually Harris had shook off the attention of Smith and reeled in Blackman for the lead of this race, but the red Tigra just got to the checkered flag first. Both drivers showing where they're right at the top of the series. Smith would hold off York to complete the podium, and Bolton would finish 5th, only 6 seconds back. Thurley would claim the senior honours once again, and Ayling did his best to get ahead of Keeley. In the end, Ayling would get 7th position, 2nd in the seniors, with Keeley in 8th. Mick Robertson put on a great show to come home in 9th, just ahead of Phil Spinks in 10th. And behind them, Philip Young held off the attention of Warren Farazmand, and it was great to see Nigel Beardsmore back in his Mercedes. He had a steady run to 13th position, followed by John Price and John Stewart. The retirements were Ian Hales, Simon Hutt and Richard Smith.
Oh wow, what a race that was. These silhouettes make a wonderful sight, don't they? And they make for some incredible racing. Let's just go for a little walk over here. We do have Malcolm Blackman here, and it wasn't easy, was it, Malcolm? It really wasn't. They just wouldn't let you get away, would they?
No, it was all right. It was it was all right. Once we broke the toe from Ray, obviously he got me because there was a yellow and then a double waved yellow, and I don't think they see it to begin with. But to be fair, I did it, and Steve and Lewis all did it at Brands. A car moved over and blocked the double waved yellow, and we all got disqualified. So this time I was waiting until I see the green. Yeah, so it was, and Ray sort of half come by and then backed up, so it was all right. But once they got to me because of the, I don't think they see the yellow because of me.
Ah, the car, there you go.
Because they're so low.
It's that giant, it's that massive wing you've got there.
Well, it blocks the vision, and it's really funny at Brands. I was trying to explain that, you know, the clerk of course did his job, but you know, when you 3 of you was all bumper to bumper, and we just couldn't see him. So, yeah, it was good.
Well, congratulations anyway, well done. Cheers. Fantastic stuff. We're going to see if we can grab a word with a couple of the other drivers. Should we grab Dan Smith, shall we? Dan. That was, God, that was fraught, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was pretty busy.
You and Ray spent a bit of time side by side, didn't you?
Yeah, I think we did about 2 or 3 laps side by side, so it was quite good. Both left space, so it was good. So it was a good bit of racing.
A lot of respect there.
Yeah.
Mind you, I was chatting to Malcolm. He said obviously the yellow flags. Did you see them? Okay.
Yeah.
You did. Okay.
Saw the yellow flags, and it was one of them things really. It's hard, and you slow up too much, and then you end up. So, but no, it was good. Shame the yellow flags did come out, but there you go.
The reverse grid draw saw Mick Robertson occupy pole position, but race 2 would take part in extremely wet conditions, which are totally unsuitable for these types of race cars. Not many drivers took to the grid for their second race because of the conditions, and a few had to pull in because of steamed up windscreens.
But we are going to have a start with 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I think, involved. And they're in balls of spray down at Copse Corner at the moment, Chaz, so they'll arrive in your lap shortly. You can tell us who they are.
I will indeed, or I'll at least try my best.
And another one comes into the pits.
So we had the 52 Scirocco, sorry, not Scirocco, oh heck.
Corrado.
Corrado,
yes.
Leading the way. Hard onto the brakes. It's then Ray Harris in second place in car number 5, and right behind him is the number 91 of Malcolm Blackwell. Just as they were in the first race.
You can't keep good men down.
You cannot at all.
Wet or dry. No.
I've just noticed, by the way, car 14, that Vauxhall Tigra, the black machine being driven by Philip Spinks, has got the windscreen wiper motor, the actual swinging arm mounted at the top of the windscreen.
Oh yes, that used to go a long way back. That was normal.
I did not, I've never seen that before.
Ford Populars used to have that.
Is that why they were so...
That's another story.
Yeah.
Right, we've got the leader emerging from the Merc, coming out into Woodcote. And it is 52 Mick Robertson, so he's worked his way through from pole position wasn't he? So Mick Robertson leads. In the second place is Ray Harris. In third place is Malcolm Blackman. In fourth place is 175 from near the back, John Stewart. In fifth place is Chris Ailing, number 28. In sixth place is number 156.
We have a white Mercedes SLK, way off the road, and I believe that's the number 4 of Richard Smith.
But he hasn't come through the first time. Side by side for the lead. This is amazing stuff. So we've got another wet race where the racing is exceptionally close. So through they go with 52 Mick Robertson in the lead still, but being challenged ever so strongly by number 5, Ray Harris, for the lead. They cross the line a quarter of a second apart. In third place is 175 John Stewart from way back, and then Malcolm Blackman, number 91, is fourth, and fifth is Chris Ailing.
The Scirocco still leads the way, but only just from Harris, who's trying to look to the right-hand side. The spray that's bouncing off the front of that Ginetta looks so beautiful as it comes through, but it's not doing anything for his visibility as Robertson holds on to that lead in the Corrado. Stewart now up into third place, ahead of race 1 winner Blackman.
Yeah, he's dropped down. So we are down to 6 cars now. In last place is number 33, Daniel Smith.
And it is the number 4 Mercedes, the other Smith, Richard Smith, that is out of the race, unfortunately. I think he did go off at the very start.
Yeah, before the race started, actually, on the outlap. So the 2 leaders emerge from Mick Robertson, really relishing the prospect. It's rather like the previous race where you've got somebody who perhaps isn't always up at the front, but he's up at the front now and he's determined to hang on to that, having started on pole position, but he loses grip through Woodcote, loses momentum because he has to back out of it. So he's got going again now, but meantime he's lost the lead. So into the lead has gone Ray Harris. So Ray Harris in the Ginetta now leads from Mick Robertson, number 52, and those 2 way clear the full length of the pit straight. Got another car heading down the pit lane. It's going to be the survival of the fittest. They're up with you, the 2 leaders.
They are indeed. I can only see Harris at the moment. He's bolted up in front. He's gone. I think maybe at the moment Robertson just struggling, getting used to the spray all in front of him, because it's the first time he's had to witness it this race. The Ginetta looking fantastic out of Beckett's as well, as planted as ever. And then, yeah, to be fair, Robertson he's got his revs are a lot lower than everybody else. I'm not sure if he's got an issue. You know, he is. Yeah, he's coming to a halt. He's crawling to a stop down the back straight, and he's pulling off.
And into the pits has come Malcolm Blackman, incidentally, number 91, with his Tigra, the winner of the earlier race. So he's in the pits.
And a fantastic result for Ray Harris, fighting his way through the field after the reverse grid and putting in some fantastic laps to get past Mick Robertson in his VW Corrado, who's doing a great job at the lead of this pack until the last couple of laps of the race, where Harris would get past and fly off into the distance, while the number 52 Volkswagen would unfortunately have to end up in the pit lane with suspected drowned electrics. Behind Harris, who had taken the checkered flag, there was a slight surprise in second position, something you may expect in these kind of conditions. It was a fantastic drive from John Stewart to take home a podium once again. After not even making the races at Cadwell after blowing up the engine in qualifying, it was great to see John take to the grid in these crazy conditions and bring home a fantastic second position. He was also running a fairly old standard engine because of the incident up at Cadwell Park, which saw him pull off in qualifying. This second position would see him winning the Driver of the Day award, but also winning the senior class. Ayling would splash his way around the circuit to third position and was followed at a slight distance by Daniel Smith, as they all completed the 8 laps. But a great job from all of the drivers. The first race of the day was seen by many as the race of the weekend, which says a lot about this fantastic series and its growth through 2021. And for the CMMCS, there's now quite a long break until the penultimate round of the season. All 3 series will go to Snetterton on October 9th and 10th, and we look forward to seeing you there.